We here at Loudwire are huge fans of Metallica. I don't think anybody can dispute that. And actually, you might remember that we unboxed the deluxe editions of Kill 'Em All and Ride the Lightning when they first came out. Today, we are crazy excited to unbox something a little different than a vinyl box set, and that is the first ever visual history of Master of Puppets, the classic Metallica album, a lot of people's favorite album from Metallica. And this is the first ever fully authorized by the band visual history of the album and the tour that followed its release in 1986. Written by Matt Taylor, frontman James Hetfield has the foreword, and Cliff Burton, his father, Ray Burton, writes a very moving afterword. And so what you're going to find in this book are just hundreds, probably thousands of pictures that you've never seen before, stories you've never heard before, tons of interviews in here that are exclusive to this book, that aren't in magazines or weren't on radio shows, that were done exclusively for this book. And the foreword starts off with, from James Hetfield, "I miss Cliff." Just that is what frames this whole book. It's an amazing story about the album, but really 1986, the release of Master of Puppets, that tour is framed by just that horrible accident over in Europe when Cliff Burton lost his life and just changed the shape of the band. And the way James puts it in this foreword, let me read this to you. "We have waited to tell our early days story of the Metallica way huge and over the top. There are not many mementos out there that haven't already been seen, but Matt Taylor," he's the author, "and the crew have done an amazing job searching relentlessly for them, digging for unearthed pictures, stories, factoids, and insanity from the Master of Puppets era." This is what the whole book is about. And I believe, too, tons of fans submitted their own photos and stories, too. So you're going to find photos. You might have submitted one, and it might be in this book. The introduction of the book actually goes minute by minute of that morning on September 27th, 1986, with the fateful bus crash that just changed the life of the Burton family, but changed the shape of Metallica and metal for the next 3 decades. Following that introduction, that is when you get into the pictures and the stories. Really, it's sort of like an oral history of 1986, of the Master of Puppets album, of that tour. You've got various people talking. You've got Jim Martin from Faith No More talking. James, Kirk, Lars, they all talk here. You've got managers, you've got roadies, you've got fans. Everybody contributes stories and memories. It's really a fascinating story. It's a fascinating book. And like I said, you are going to find stories in here you have never heard before. Or you're going to find stories that maybe you know bits and pieces about, like when James busted his wrist in Evansville, Indiana, and they had to cancel that show. And then John Marshall, future Metal Church member, played guitar with Metallica while James just focused on singing. You probably know that story. You probably know bits and pieces about that. But there's nuggets in here that you've never heard before. And one thing I found fascinating was how scared the band was that James might never play guitar again after that. I didn't realize it was quite that drastic. And that's just the tip of the iceberg of the stuff that you're going to find in here. So you're going to flip through here. You're going to be staring at all these pictures, all these ticket stubs. There's journal entries from Kirk's personal journal that he wrote in 1986. There's letters that fans wrote to the band that are in here that you've never seen before. And then, like I said, at the very end, so you've got James Hetfield doing the foreword. You've got Matt Taylor writing the whole book. And then you've got Cliff Burton's dad writing the afterword. And it's a moving tribute to Cliff. It's a moving tribute to Metallica. But what Ray Burton does so beautifully is he gives a tribute to the fans, too, to the fans who love Cliff, who love Metallica, and who love this music, and particularly this album. Metallica, back to the front. It is the first fully authorized visual history, and like I said, I'd call it an oral history, too, of not only the Master of Puppets album, but the tour that followed. It's high quality, man. You saw the pictures, you hear the stories. It's all housed in a really nice hardcover book. All the pages are in there tight. Everything is perfect. This is, even if you're a huge Metallica fan, obviously this is something you have to add to your bookshelf. But even if you're not necessarily a gigantic fan, but you like the band, you like Master of Puppets, you're going to want to pick up this book. It's got something in here for literally every single Metallica, heavy metal, rock and roll fan out there. Metallica, back to the front.